What's up guys, my name is SnyperSama, but you can call me Sniper. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing one of another of my anti-Arkveld, Arch Tempered Arkveld builds. Now, the reason for Switch Axe specifically is because Switch Axe kind of does a little bit of everything right now. Mixed with the fact that it's got a counter kind of like Longsword, it's got some great damage, it's got a little bit of the morphing sequences to it. At least for me, Switch Axe is one of my absolute favorite weapons. The only issue I have with Switch Axe is my brain has to want to work when I use it, and if it doesn't, I just kind of throw the entire time and sit there and wild swing with my axe, and that's not effective at all. Don't do that. But I decided it was time to make another Switch Axe build, especially because I was getting a couple of YouTube comments from guys saying, "Hey, where's Swag Axe? You did Savage Axe, you did Gun Lance." You did all these different weapons. Where's Swag Axe? Well, this is for you guys. Make sure you guys are also liking, commenting, and subscribing, just like those guys talking about Swag Axe, because it tells me, tells my thumbnail creator, @Tangy, much love. Love you, homie. And the YouTube algorithm, like, hey, these are good builds. We like this. We like this guy, and we want to keep supporting him, because your guys' support means a ton. It was just a little while ago, the last month of 2025, that we hit 1,000 stubs, and we are currently like 200 away from 2,000. It's crazy. The growth has been nuts, and I just wanted to say thank you. I love you. I appreciate all of you. Without further ado, I'll shut up and, well, I'm not going to shut up. How else would I explain the build? But I'll stop talking about this, and we'll get to the video. Let's just get to it. All right. Wicked Regnum. Dragon Switch Axe Power Phial. The reason we are rocking a Power Phial rather than Elemental Phial, I don't know how effective the Elemental hit zones are going to be for Arkveld quite yet. Because of that, I wanted to stick with something that I already had crafted, and I know which is tried and true. That is Wicked Regnum in the Power Phial, and is a Dragon Switch Axe. You guys ideally want this to be rolled like mine. Gormagala's Tyranny, Lord Soul, is the obvious GOG roll, okay? We want that Dragon focus, because although everything is a 1-star in Arkveld, Dragon ends up being the most effective, just barely. Again, I'm unsure how effective all of the elements are actually going to be on him. We'll see. Who knows, okay? But Gormagala's Tyranny, Lord Soul, attack focused, triple attack, 1 sharpness, 1 affinity. Perfect for me, okay? If you have 4 attack and 1 sharpness, great. If you have 2 affinity, 2 attack, 1 sharpness, and you're happy with that, great. Whatever you want to use, great. Do it, okay? This is my build. As far as the armor goes, we have Guardian Fulgur Helm Beta, Arch Tempered New Udra Gamma, Gogmazios Vambraces Alpha, very specifically Alpha, Ray Sandcoil Gamma from Arch Tempered right now, and Gorgreaves Beta. Now, you're probably sitting here looking at this myriad of monster names going, what on planet Earth? Why there's no synergy? There's nothing. Well, truth be told, that's not exactly the case. Okay, we're rocking Udra and Ray Dow specifically for their skills and for Lord Soul. The skills and decorations, at least on this one that they provide, are really, really helpful. Maximum Might is amazing on Switch Axe because none of the moves except Wild Swing actually require stamina. And on top of that, because of how the counter works now, your stamina comes back by the time your animation's finished, meaning you still get full Maximum Might. Okay, Udra Mail is really, really good because Counter-Strike is also amazing on Switch Axe. With the counter, it still counts as you getting hit. It still counts as you being, quote-unquote, knocked back. But you're not. Which means you just get the damage for free. Okay? On top of that, Fulgur Helm Beta and Gogmazios Vambraces Alpha both share Fulgur and Janna's Will. Meaning, we get to take full advantage of Maximum Might because we have the additional stamina gauge. So even when you do end up rolling, even when you do end up countering, whatever it may be, you still get to keep all of your stamina and all of the affinity bonuses that come from it. Last but not least is we have the Gorgreaves Beta. Gorgreaves Beta are just good. The Gormagala Greaves are insane. There was a little while of time where they weren't as prevalent, but because of all of the Gogmazios God rolls, it ended up coming back really, really, really well. Okay, last but not least, we have my Golden Age Charm. Now, the reason we are rocking this one is you actually don't have to use one that has antivirus. The reason I am using the one that I have with antivirus, because I'm fighting Arch Tempered Arkveld too. Okay? I'm out here, I'm struggling, I'm fighting. We're fighting to the last breath. Meaning, I want to use my best stuff. However, you don't need to have one that has this setup. All you need is attack boost 3. I know, truth be told, need is a very strong word. You don't need this type of charm at all. If you had recovery speed, recovery up, divine blessing, whatever it is that you want, it is a-okay. I have it set up like this because then I get to take full advantage of the additional attack bonuses that Switch Axe needs. Okay, so for here, I would recommend, depending on what charms you've got, attack boost 3 with an additional weapon decoration, which only comes on the Golden Age charms. Shout out new monsters, shout out new quests. We have a better dedicated drop for these. Hell yeah. Okay, but if you don't have something like that for me, the only thing that you are going to end up having to forego is Divine Protection and Steadfast. Okay, Steadfast is the stun resist. Arkveld is a monster. Not just because he's an actual monster, like physically, but he hurts. He is a struggle bus. And because of that, I wanted to make sure that anybody that was using this build, depending on what they had, was able to take full advantage. So, you've got 3 real choices when it comes to your talisman. You go the attack boost route. You go the antivirus route because you can get this on other charms. Or you go for one of the other skills that are pretty good in this build. That being Divine Protection, Steadfast for stun resistance. You could even do Razor Sharp, Dragon, Power Prolonger. Unfortunately, Switch Axe needs a lot of different skills to be extremely good, okay? And when I say need, I don't exactly mean in the sense of it is a requirement, kind of like on Gunlance and Charge Blade, where you need load shells and artillery. But to make them a little bit easier to use, increase their ease of use, raise their skill ceiling but lower the skill floor. That way they're still a viable option for newer players or people that maybe not as lucky. Power Prolonger is a pretty much a requirement, at least for me. And that's because it literally doubles the duration that your weapon stays powered up. Meaning your damage is just increased the entire time. Rather than having 45 seconds of your weapon, your sword, being amped up in the sword state, now it's at 90 seconds. Which may not sound like a lot, but when you're sitting there and you're fighting, if a monster is down, we'll say, stuck in a trap, that only lasts for, I think it's about 6 seconds, max. That 6 seconds feels like an eternity when that monster is trapped. Now include the fact that maybe your weapon's about to run out. If you only have a 45-second timer, you might not be able to take full advantage of all of the damage you do. You might not be able to take full advantage of the fact that there is a prime opportunity, meaning Power Prolonger is a requirement. So, back to the Talisman. Attack Boost, Antivirus, Power Prolonger, and then option 4 and 5 would be any of the other setups, meaning Divine Blessing or Steadfast, okay? As far as the rest of the armor talisman or decorations go, we have 1, 2 Challenger Jewels. This is going to give us maxed out Agitator. We have 1 Throttle Jewel. This is going to give us a 3rd level of latent power. And then we have 1 level of Chain. Now, the reason we're rocking Chain is because Burst. Burst is just insanely good. Got to make sure it's on builds. Alternatively, you could put in Flare if you really wanted to. I say Chain is still better unless you can start to get a couple extra layers of Flare going. Now, as far as the rest of the build goes, because of the variability that people have with their talismans, you can't guarantee that you're going to have this exact setup. Meaning, depending on what kind of charm you use, you got to make a choice. Do you want protection? Do you want sane and antivirus? Or do you want steadfast? I'm here to tell you that based off of the build and how I've crafted it, when you use everything without antivirus, you have Agitator, 15% affinity. Latent power when active, 30% affinity, giving you 45%. Include maximum might, you're sitting at 75% affinity. You don't need antivirus, okay? However, when latent power is inactive, you lose the 30%. When Agitator is inactive, you lose the 15%, meaning you're only relying on maximum might. Now you're at 30%, okay? All in all, you guys have to make a choice when it comes to this build and how you want to craft it. I left it open-ended like this, not only because it lets you guys ask me questions that you might have concerns about, lets you figure out a little bit more of what's going on in my head, but on top of that, it's variable. The thing about Switch Axe, at least in my opinion, you can use pretty much any sort of armor and any sort of skills with it, because Switch Axe itself is weapon decoration dependent. Okay, that's where we get into the next part. Like I was saying, enhancer or power prolonger, absolutely vital. In fact, at least in my opinion, is the most important thing on Switch Axe. Everything else falls second to that. Okay, next up is quick switch, which is rapid morph. There's a little bit of controversy about it, which is valid. I don't think it's an absolute need. I do think it is better than people are giving it credit for, though. I have learned to play without it, but I also remember playing Monster Hunter Rise and Sunbreak, where rapid morph was a requirement because of the morph loop that you could do. And truly, it was amazing. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Wilds, I wish you guys would do that. I don't know why we can't do that. Anyways. Rapid Morph is really, really good, and then Razor Sharp Dragon. Part of the reason we went to Quick Switch is because it allows me to get 3 levels of Dragon, and it lets me take full advantage of the fact that Switch Axe is one of those weapons where you constantly have to be doing something to maximize its potential. Meaning, you can do a variation of a Morph Loop, but it's not as effective as it once was, okay? Overall, though, you can see we're just under 300 raw attack at 284, 30% affinity thanks to maximum might, and we have 400 element. If we were to go ahead and turn all of our training settings on, with agitator, latent power, and antivirus, you can see we have 75% affinity now, 304 raw attack. If we were to, and that is without the latent power either, or not the latent power, the antivirus. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go ahead and level up our weapon, or level up. We're gonna go ahead and amp it. And there we go. You can see here, we have 312 thanks to burst, and we get to take full advantage of everything, okay? The thing about Switch Axe is that on top of all of this, if we come over here to Luke, training settings, we'll go ahead and do Sent Flying. That way you guys can see Counter-Strike. You can see there, Counter-Strike is activated. We have 334, 100% affinity, 446 raw. And it is going to stay like that. We're able to, just with those 2 hits, do nearly 700 damage, okay? This build is very, very nice, and it lends itself to be something that really can contend with Arkveld in a pretty easy fashion. Especially because you can hop out of that now. If you hit the counter, which we'll show right now, you can hop out. Meaning with Arkveld's big swinging attacks, his big combo pieces, the whole bit, you're able to not only protect yourself from the first strike, but also jump out of the way of whatever may be coming. That being said, that is going to do it for today's build, guys. Thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you all for hanging out. I hope you guys are enjoying the 10-star Arch Tempered Arkveld, that's a tongue twister, as much as I am. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. I look forward to releasing more soon because we have some ideas and there's going to be some new types of videos on the channel. But that is going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you all for coming and watching. Thank you all for hanging out. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Farewell. I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you want to play tough and want to hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.